The following is an update and technical analysis on West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures here based upon the daily realm. And I believe there's been some significant developments since my last video. And I believe that one of the most significant gambles within presidential, maybe of all time history, is Joseph Biden's decision to deplete the strategic petroleum reserve to levels not witnessed in 4 decades. It is doubtful that we can deplete it even further. And I believe Jennifer Granholm must be aware of this. Given the current rate as of now for refilling the SPR, it could take a decade to restore it to previous levels, with only now a mere 20 days of energy reserves left within the SPR to power the entire economy. As you know, the master resource and the bloodline of any economy, major modern economy, and in any major weather event or embargo beyond that point would leave us without energy, pushing us back into a very dire situation, reminiscent of the Dark Ages. In short, it is a precarious situation that confronts us. And crude oil, the master resource of the world, is a derivative of the entire economy. And just honing in here, I had mentioned in my previous video this primary reactionary minor downtrend line to watch and really watch out for that key inflection point on a potential flagging if and when we had that flagging action, and we need a back testing it, breaking out of it, back testing it almost darn near to the button there. On the entire trade, surging past resistance was good for 10.8% gains on a big move to the upside, just overpowering all resistance levels and or potential divergences that were in play. And that is a very strong and telling move where we've taken out the 85.72 price support. Now resistance becomes support. You have the 382 Phipps 84.64 price support as well being tested and broken right back above, back testing it, and then ultimately bulls are just in complete and full control from this major transitioning point. Whereas we do have major price resistance above the 50% Phipps retracement called the 93.73 price resistance, and that, in my opinion, would give the utmost most valuable short trade setup on a prolonged move to the downside if we go on to retest. And crude oil just continues to surge, where this could be a potential triple flagging action, where you have a flag pattern of that nature, and then ultimately just a huge wave of buying to the upside, surging, taking out a bunch of shorts to go off and short squeezing all the way on a prolonged move to the 93.73, which would provide a great risk reward on a short trade setup on a move to the downside. But that is major price resistance here. Call it multi-year price support with a plethora of reactionary highs and reactionary lows to strengthen the validation of that major transitioning point. We're here in the technical momentum space. We have a beautiful bullish crossover setup here. Just a very telling positive right up above its 0 line threshold, just health being poured right into these momentum indicators. And what is more significant of all developments, I believe, is the stochastics 1033 right above that 85 range, just carrying and holding the momentum in an all-out control in bull traders and or long buyers there. And we are beginning to have a potential here bullish crossover in the stochastics 1033, and is an early sign of an early indicator where we could again have a much more stronger move to the upside, and the bull flag, triple bull flag continuation pattern ends up panning out there, just putting increased odds for a move to the upside if and when they go on to retest that major price resistance level. Where bear traders, short sellers, they want to see a false breakout. They want to guide this as a false breakout, potentially have a consolidation phase in an island cluster looking top here on a breakdown right below that key major price support level on a rechallenging of the 82.61 price support, and then ultimately the 78.98 price support level there. So again, the check marks are all honing in onto the bullish side. In my opinion, there's no way in hell that I would even think about shorting here again until we reach the 93.73 price resistance, if and when we get there. No indication in the near term intervals as well of any bearish sentiment. Nothing but bullish sentiment that I see here in the charts, specifically in the daily realm and honing into the hourly realm. I'm going to take you to the USO, United States Oil Fund here off the hourly interval, and I had mentioned how pivotal this primary reactionary minor downtrend line was, where we put in a nice clean divergent low. We had positive oscillator divergence with a beautiful bullish crossover there. We need a breaking out of that key inflection point, and we need a back testing it really to the button off that primary reactionary uptrend line, especially if you're an active and or day trader. And that entire move to the upside was good for 9.7% in gains. Just a very powerful gap up. I ended up gapping up again, and now we are just in this consolidation phase as of now. This consolidation phase, which could spur more health. The more this energy builds up like just a steaming hot kettle pot, the move could be much larger on a big wave of buying to the upside if and when we continue this juncture, where you have the 50 hourly moving average hovering in down below for key additional support here. Nice gap support correlated with the 50 hourly and 50 exponential hourly moving average, right around that 77, 750 range. And I would suspect a much more stronger move if and when we go there. Whereas the nice oscillator, price percent oscillators having a nice general healthy pullback to the 0 line threshold for a prolonged bigger move to the upside if and when that scenario ends up panning out. I've added this new primary reactionary uptrend line here off the hourly interval. Multiple reactionary lows to strengthen validation there, and again, even a backfill of the gap there would be potentially bought up by long traders and or bull traders, whereas short sellers want to see it break down a sell signal and a prolonged move right back to these additional targets. I'll keep you updated if I see any more significance in the charts. This is as bullish as a move as you can possibly get here off the daily interval, and just momentum is on this side of the bullish sentiment inside these technical momentum indicator space, where the all-out inflation trade is on.